Hello.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
I have seen better days when it comes to chess, honestly.
Oh, well,
But
there will be better days to come for sure.
yeah, man. Sorry, I'm trying to. For some reason, the Discord is not coming up. Like the audio is not running.
Um,
Oh, there we go. Never
I
mind. I
I just
lied.
changed my mic. I don't know if that did anything.
No, it should be working now, guys. You guys can hear Joe Bruin, right?
Hello.
So thank you for agreeing to be here. Uh, it was just nice to talk to you. Like I saw how much that you've helped Sabrina. And I figured that maybe you could help me out, give me some tips, or we could play kind of whatever you want to do here.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't done too much to help, but maybe a stream or two, but like I'm happy
I
to
mean,
keep helping when I can.
I know that she finds the review that you guys do to be very useful. Um, and just in general, I think talking about chess with people, especially new people, or people like you that have been playing for so long and been studying, is just a very good thing because like I try my best to study, but I'm like the kid in school where if something's due 2 months from now, I do it 2 days before, and
Mm-hmm.
I carry that over like with everything. Like with chess, when I try and study, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, dude, nothing is making me sit in front of this book. Why would I do it?
Yeah.
So I think I'm honestly just hoping at the very least that we talk some chess and we have fun.
Yeah, that's ultimately the goal, is to have fun. So I think we could do that. Real quick,
Yeah.
thanks to your mod just followed me, um, Johnny. So that was cool. But I sent you a stream together invite, I think, so we could combine our chats.
Yeah, I should be in it. I think you have
Oh,
to
I just
start the
have
share
to.
chat.
Cool. Okay, my bad.
Nah, you're good.
Bob, thank you as well for the follow. Okay, there we go. Hi, Physic. Hi, Jenny. Hello, 4x4. Good to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. Definitely go check out Joe if you guys haven't already. We're doing a Joellab today.
Dude, this is my break Twitch, the Joe Laboration of the century.
Yeah. And there's another Joe chess streamer, Joe Cozy, of course. So we have to
I do think we have to do something with her as well. We need to
it's
figure that
at
out.
some point it's written in the stars. So
I
okay.
think I think we need to get another Joe, like because there's three of us. We need to get another Joe, and then we could do like different variations, like Bug House for the four-player chess.
Of course.
That might be perfect.
Yes. Um well, we could also do Bug House with the two of us, but also
Oh.
there's Hand and Brain, and there's a bunch of other games, of course. But yeah, if you wanted like a lesson today, like I'm happy to review and do something similar.
I mean, I'm totally down to play, but I would like it if you could go through a game that I just played on stream because I feel like it's kind of representative of how I've been playing recently. Um, which is to say, I'll be doing pretty well in the game. Like I play my opening, some would say nearly perfect, and I get into a winning position, and I don't know. That's what you would call like converting, where you have the winning position, like you have a 1 or 2 pawn lead, or even just the better general position. I struggle to carry that with me into the end game,
Yeah.
and it feels like the mistakes that I make aren't when I lose. It's not because I blunder a piece and then I lose the game. It's because I'm down like zero point 0.1, then I'm down like zero point 0.4, and it just slowly starts like
Yeah.
adding until I'm 3 pawns down in endgame.
Yeah. That's definitely something that's normal and that happens. I think it's like just the quality of your moves overall, or like not having a plan, like Bob is mentioning. It's tough to convert, as you say, if you don't have that plan. or if you just have like a couple things here and there that maybe aren't the most accurate, it really compounds and adds up. So let's see this game
Okay.
that you're talking about. You just played it?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. I love reviewing games. So send me the link and I can make a classroom and go over it with
Got
you.
it. You just need like the analysis link for it.
Just the game, whatever link.
Oh, cool. How's that?
Cool.
I am curious though, when you talk about like coming up with a plan, you're what you mean by that, is it like a vague thing of, oh, I don't know, I want it more open, I want it more closed. Is that what you're thinking about, or is it something more specific that has to do with your moves?
Plans can be specific, but also
Hmm.
plans can be kind of broad and say like generic, I feel like.
Okay.
So it depends on the specifics of the position. You
Hmm.
could have like a vague idea of a plan, like okay, I know I want to like promote my pawn, right?
Yeah.
But then you have to like get into the nitty-gritty details of like what specific moves are going to help me make that happen.
Yeah.
So you could have big picture plans and you could have more narrow defined specific plans.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can just like get this into a classroom here.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick
Yeah,
if
do
that's
your
all
thing.
right.
Of course.
All right.
All right, chat. I have his game pulled up. Should I look at it before he gets back? I think I'll wait. That was a trick question. Um, all right, we'll have to send him an invite. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Happy Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. Ginny saying Joel. That's a great idea for the Joellab. We could have Joe Cozy, Joe Cam, Joel, and myself as the four Joes of the chess streaming world. Also, I apologize. I'm eating a little bit because I haven't eaten yet today. And I'm also running a little late for the Joe Lab. Can't believe it. I had a bunch of work to do today, and I'm still behind. Anyways,
I'm back.
welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm eating some Greek yogurt, Ginny, with some blueberries and granola.
Mm.
Anyways, I'm not gonna try to be too distracting, but okay. I haven't looked at this game yet. It looks like you've got the black pieces.
I do. And I will say what I said before about, yeah, 90, like my openings are pretty good. This is a game where that's not true. Um, I did misplay my Karagon.
Okay, I'm like just now realizing. So this is a 10-minute game, and you're 1850.
Hmm.
You're very strong.
Thank you.
I didn't realize. Have you tried giving lessons to Sabrina before?
Um, well, so originally, there's, let me start from the beginning. Has Sabrina told you like how she started learning chess?
No. Um,
So she had been playing like intermittently for a while, and then I when her and I first like started becoming friends, and at one point we did go out. I would play with her dad a lot, and then when I got to a point like where I finally beat her dad, and then kind of towards that point she started playing. So we kind of grew together, and we're both like when I was maybe 900, she was like 700, and then we've been 200 rating points between. Um, but so obviously I've taught her things as we were coming up and we've learned together. But as for giving her like actual lessons, I think that we both just play very differently. And I think it's because we've also kind of grown in the game together. Like it doesn't,
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm necessarily qualified to give her instructive advice, if
got
that
it.
makes sense.
That does make sense. But that's
A
really
very long
cool.
way to say no, I don't give her lessons.
Yeah. Also, she might have told me, but I don't remember. But no, I think that's really cool that you guys play together, and I think that you've definitely grown a lot as a chess player. So
Thanks.
um, I'm curious to see if I could even help you so much. But okay, so this is your Caro Kann, right? E4. You've got
Yeah.
C6. Here immediately just C5, right? They take. Now you develop the knight, pressure on the pawn. They pin your knight. You develop. They defend their pawn and develop. So at some point you're gonna try to get some of these pawns back, right? So here they're defending, but this is kind of a weakening move, right? So you put pressure
Yeah.
on the bishop. Here, you're saying if en passant you have bishop takes, right?
I didn't even see that.
No, okay, this is fine. The
Good
computer
start.
doesn't. The computer doesn't even like this move, honestly. Um,
Yeah. I
I
didn't
don't even
really
know
like it
why.
after I made it either. I kind of thought about it, and I just think the whole middle game up until like I don't even know, move like 15, 16 was just me trying to defend this knight and it just feeling very awkward.
So
And yeah, go ahead.
I can see the issue. Bishop takes with check, but they just block, and now both pieces are hanging.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice attack.
So that's why this gets a question mark and this gets an exclamation point, is because
Hmm.
yeah, basically I'm not a Caro player, but I would
Hmm.
say that there's probably a better line that we're trying to get this material back sooner, is my guess.
Yeah,
Like maybe we have like queen check, knight block, pawn push. That doesn't seem right.
I mean, I honestly think what you're supposed to do is queen a5, and then if they block with the knight, you just play a6 and then
Yeah.
take that trade if they trade, and then yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
that
not terrible.
that makes a lot more sense to me as well.
Mm.
Um so yeah, this is already maybe a little too slow and they can make your life a lot more difficult to try to get the material back.
They
So,
surely did.
yeah, it takes and yeah, you have this problem, right? Your queen's hit, this piece is hit. Here, so your problem is you can't develop this bishop and you can't castle.
Yeah.
And you can't move this knight because it's defending here. So this piece is hit. I'm wondering if like we could play here to fianchetto, but the problem is this bishop can't go back anywhere, right? So here
That's
there's like this.
that's pretty much what I saw. I also saw where if I did play G7, can I mark this up too? No, okay.
Sorry, let me
If I
give it
played,
to you.
oh, I didn't know I.
All right,
Oh,
now
that's
you should.
awesome.
Yeah.
I was saying if I play G6 here, they could play there, and then automatically like I didn't like anything good happening here because I go there, bishop goes here. If I try and threaten this pawn somehow and they trade, they
Uh
just win my
huh.
knight over here. So I was kind of going like this with the intention of preventing this to eventually try and fianchetto,
Yeah.
which is what I did, and it didn't look clean, but it kind of worked a little bit. But I understand why that's like a inaccuracy or mistake.
This move might be just absolutely atrocious, but I'm wondering if queen e5 is possible because if takes, we have takes.
Ah, well then
Uh,
they have a discovered attack that if they take
yeah,
with the
but
knight,
I'm like, where do they go? What's the worst they could do to us? I'm like really asking for trouble here. If they take, we take, right?
mm-hmm.
Check
So I get,
here.
mm,
It's scary, but I'm like, maybe this is like what the world has come to in this situation. Because, okay, here we do play here now. because they push this pawn, so it's not like they're
Yeah.
trapping our bishop. Castle, I like this. Here, castles. So you're getting through the worst of it, which is great. Takes. Queen up. Pressure on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here, defending, connecting the rooks. We double. They go here. Yeah, I'm wondering maybe bishop here to play like knight here. That's an idea. Rook up, bishop here, big question mark. So I'm wondering.
I didn't really see why my rook move was a mistake, if I'm being honest.
It's maybe not so much a mistake, but just like maybe there's something better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just going one square. Maybe like this bishop move, like we mentioned.
I mean, I did play it there. I specifically went there because I thought that he would play that move with the bishop.
Okay.
Like play bishop b3.
Yeah, this is a nice threat actually.
Mm-hmm.
So pressure on the knight is really strong, but there's something that I doesn't like about this. Maybe just like knight here.
I saw that, and then I figured I'd just trade the queens, and then I could stack my rooks.
Double. Okay. Yeah, I think it's like a reasonable idea. They just go here and we go back somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we just play on normally. So maybe there was like some missed opportunity, something better. But honestly, I like that you're aggressive, and I like that you're creating threats. So they obviously missed it, and you reap the rewards of the tactic, which is great. Yeah, this is hit. You save that, which is good. Here you're just trying to open up for your bishop, which is good. It looks a little weakening, but the queens are off the board, which is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like their main pawn chain, so attacking that makes a lot of sense. Here, figure you could just take, or maybe you could just take here as well. Take and takes is a little annoying. We don't really want them to take here, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think taking here is kind of important. Okay, attacking the bishop's also smart. They can take. Yeah, I feel like I can't see the clock here, but I could tell you spent some time here, I imagine. This is like a really active move. You're threatening a lot of things.
I'll tell you, move 25. I had. It took me 20 seconds for that move.
Okay.
And I had 4.5 minutes left.
So this is a really active move by them. So this is a really weak pawn. It's only defended by the rook, and they're adding an extra attacker. So you can trade, yes, but now this pawn's undefended and attacked twice.
Yeah.
So even if we defend it, it's gonna lose. So probably like bishop here, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You would defend with the bishop. You defend with the rook. They don't take. They take here first. Now they take. But this is like completely winning for you. So, okay. Yeah, I assume you lost.
I didn't lose.
Okay. It's a draw.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
I didn't see the win here. Like
that's okay.
That's kind of the feeling that I was trying to get to you was I will get in a position like I looked at the position, I said, I'm winning here. And then it's just a matter of how do I do that?
Yeah, it gets really difficult when you trade the pawns this easily. So like essentially if we go back here, right? We trade off the rooks. This is very clearly an end game where you're up a bishop, right? But you're down a pawn on both sides of the board.
Yeah.
Hey Jesse, good to see you. And Rob, of course. And Kowalski, what's up everyone? Okay. So this is like getting into in-game sort of strategy, right?
Yeah.
So you know, like, okay, if you're up material, you want to trade. Here, you're only up 1 point of material. It's a bishop for 2 pawns, and specifically, it's a dark square bishop that you're up. Now, all of their uh, pawns are on dark squares, so your bishop can be really useful in targeting them. And your pawn here is on a light square. They obviously are gonna try to attack it, right?
Hmm.
So here, this is the position. We have to come up with like a plan. So like long term, the best way I would say is to try to promote one of our pawns and make
Hmm.
a queen. So how you do that is by making a pass pawn. And right now they have majority on both sides. So like what good is the extra bishop for us? Well, essentially we want to use the piece to try to win their pawns.
Hmm.
So first off, you take a step out to defend. That makes sense to me. You're trying to hold on to the pawn, and now here they're just trying to trade off essentially. Now, something to know about bishop and pawn endgames. If you're up a piece, it feels like that's really good, and if you're up a pawn, that also feels really good. But you
Yeah.
could be up both a bishop and a pawn, and your opponent could have absolutely nothing, and it could still be a draw. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's basically like if you have one of these outside pawns and you're promoting on the wrong color, it's important that
Hmm.
your bishop controls the corner of the board that your pawn is promoting on.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when you are offered this trade here, well, first off, there's all this going on, but right here, you trade. This is given a question mark. Remember what I said about like our best plan is to promote a pawn?
Yeah,
You're
that
trading
instantly gets rid of
you
that.
you have less pawns than they do, right?
Yeah.
So if they trade off all the pawns, then it's just gonna be like two bishops versus one bishop, which is like very. I mean, they're gonna have like two pawns to spare left over, right?
Yeah.
You want to keep your pawns on actually, even though you're up material. It's like the idea generally is to trade. It's very important in your like in game knowledge that you're like I can't really trade these pawns because these pawns are the future. Like that's what I need to promote to win.
Yeah.
Because you're not really winning this game without making more pieces, unless you could somehow win their bishop and give a two bishop checkmate, which definitely is
Yeah.
easier to do than knight and bishop mate. But like we don't want it to come down to that. We want to make sure we keep some of the pawns on the board. So for you to initiate the trades here, not
Hmm.
ideal. Here, I would probably take with the king, to be honest.
Yeah.
But okay, this isn't the end of the world. Here, you gotta push. You gotta
Hmm.
keep a pawn on both sides of the board, ideally. So you don't want to trade this, right? Because
Hmm.
now you don't have any pawns on this side of the board. Here you go after them, and they offer this trade. I'm immediately playing a5.
See, but I looked at the review after, and it said to play that. I just worry that that just gives them a chance to. So sorry, I'm thinking while I'm speaking. Like I thought, okay, I go there, then they could push this, and it's going to be hard to attack. And I'm realizing now, literally as I was speaking, I could just attack it again right after,
Yeah,
and then it can go nowhere.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and I could eventually just get my bishop, one way or another here, and then he
Yes.
can't take this, and then it's just I totally see now. Yeah.
So yeah, first we want to save our bishop or our pawn, right? We don't want to trade
Hmm.
it. Also notice this pawn promotes on the dark square that our bishop controls.
Mm.
This is the bishop that they don't have, right? So
Yep.
if your pawn's on a light square, you notice how this is kind of awkward for you to defend because you can
Hmm.
only defend it with your bishop and they're attacking it with their bishop. As
Yeah.
soon as they play here, this is like pretty bad actually because now here and like you said they can't even push this pawn because you control this and now you control the dark squares. This bishop is useless now. It can't
Yeah.
protect its own pawn. So they're never really pushing this. And now you can go here and this pawn you don't even have to defend with the bishop unless the king gets around to it, right? That's
Yeah.
another thing about trading the pawns over here is that now your opponent's king can solely focus on this promotion here.
Yeah.
You've turned the board into one side, which the outside pawns are really valuable against the king because the king can only choose one or the other, right? Bishops are really cool because they control both sides of the board.
Hmm.
But another thing you were talking about was like if you pass this pawn, you're saying that you feel like your opponent now has chances, right?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that when you trade, they still have that same chance, but you don't have any chances anymore, right?
Yeah.
So
I
now,
think I just saw it as like I'm trying to draw here, and
yeah,
that's why I just traded.
and that's definitely like you have to uh recognize that you are for choice, right? I mean, you're up material, but you're up a piece as well.
Yeah.
So you got to shift the mentality of like if you're thinking like I have to draw, then a draw is a good result now if that's your plan.
Yeah.
But like if you're thinking okay, I have to like win this and convert this, then you have to recognize like how to win these sort of positions. So this is kind of an end game lesson of you want to keep the pawns on both sides of the board and you want to essentially put the pawns on the opposite color of their bishop and you don't want to trade
Hmm.
off all the pawns.
So it would have been smart, like going forward one move here, like here.
Yeah,
Would this have been smart?
I would keep this on the board. It's annoying because your pawns are on the same color as their bishop, but
Yeah.
the good news is these pawns are now on dark squares and they become a target, right, a weakness.
And then say we hit like this position. What am I going for here?
You're going for these weak pawns or you're going for these pawns. Like you have to use your king and your bishops to basically poke and prod. So like
Hmm.
what good is the extra material? Like what good is the extra piece? You want to use it to win material. You want to use it to win more material, right? To win the
Yeah.
pawn specifically. This king cannot be on both sides of the board at the same time, but your bishops can be. So you're going to use your extra piece. You can start by putting pressure on this pawn. This bishop will never be able to protect this pawn,
Yeah.
right? And their king is going to be locked down to defend this. So that's like
Hmm.
first thing. The second thing is you then will bring the king in to wherever you can, essentially, and eventually you're going to be able to win material. Like
Yeah.
even though you're down a pawn on both sides, you're up a bishop. So this would be like a really fun sort of puzzle of an endgame to figure out and solve.
Hmm.
Because it's like you're playing for the win. They don't really have much they can do. I mean, they have two connected pass pawns, but as long as you don't, blunder and you have your bishops guarding them, you should be able to like out muscle them in this end game with the king and the extra bishop.
Yeah.
So
That totally makes sense.
when you trade here, though, let's see, you trade off all of the pawns. Now they have two passed pawns and you have zero pawns. Your hope is somehow you're gonna be able to catch both of their pawns and win their bishop at no cost. So you don't have any more material to play around with anymore. So it's
Hmm.
basically like this is just kind of a draw because you can't really win. He puts both pawns on light squares, right? Bishop is guarding both.
Yeah.
Even if you get your bishop around, like if you win one pawn, you're gonna lose your bishop, right? And now it's just a draw.
No.
So yeah, this is just a draw now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me look through this again with the engine, and we'll see if there's anything more concrete that we missed.
Hmm.
So right here, would you say that you get this position a lot when you play the Carl?
I would say decent amount.
Okay,
This is like chess reps.
not really.
So I've used chess reps like when I was going into my most recent tournament I played. I used it to kind of learn a lot of the lines of the openings that I play, which are mainly the Caro Kann, the Slav Defense, and Roy Lopez. And this is kind of how it recommends to play the Caro Kann. So that's just what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
But Recently it hasn't been working out as well for me. So,
Okay. What, did you used to play something before the Caro?
um, honestly, no. I've been playing. I'm open to hearing new suggestions because I've been playing the Caro for probably 2 years now.
I always play E5, but then you got to learn like the Italian, you got to learn the Roy Lopez.
I just feel like I don't like playing e5. Here's my question: is why do you like playing e5? Because I feel like when I play e5, it's instantly my opponent is in there. Like my opponent plays e5, they're gonna play or know a lot about the e4 e4 e5 openings. So that's why when I play black, I don't want to give my opponent a chance to enter into something that they know
Uh-huh.
firmly. Like a good example is Sabrina plays the what is it, the Ponziani?
Uh-huh.
Or no, the Vienna
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Gambit.
yeah.
It's like why, and I know nothing about it. Like why would I give her the chance to get into that when I could instead
Well,
just force her into something
here's
else?
the thing about E4 players is that yeah, sure they know things about E4, E5, but they're also going to know things about the French. They're going to know things about the Caro. They're going to know things about the Scandi because these are all openings that you play against E4.
Yeah.
So like it's funny your same logic against the Caro, I like to play F3, the fantasy,
I
which
have played against that.
that is like this is White's version of like, oh, you're comfortable with the Caro, but I'm gonna do something that's like a little unorthodox or like a little less common, right? But like
Yeah.
good Caro players, they've seen it, like because they play Caro all the time. Like you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know as much theory about it, which is like the whole point of why I would play it. But like
Yeah.
at some point, as you get higher in rating, like the players just know and see things. So
Okay.
I wouldn't worry too. Like, it's funny against the Sicilian, I play C3, which is the
Me
Alpen,
too.
because it's like
No.
this is not mainline, right? Because I'm also like I don't want to just get out prepped out of the opening out of something that I know my opponent knows super well. But
Yeah.
like as you continue to go get stronger and play better rated players, like they're just gonna know everything really. So I wouldn't be too worried about like opening. Like you're gonna have to learn a lot of this stuff. And honestly, even if you don't stick with certain openings forever, like a lot of the opening principles and the ideas translate pretty well across like all sort of different openings. So the funny thing you mentioned about playing E5. So to me, the Caro
Yeah.
and the French are very similar in that after D4, your same move is going to be D5, right? And there was a funny quote about the French defense is like basically the rest of the game you're going to try to play for like E5 to like help
Yeah.
liberate your bishop. Well, the funny thing is on the first move you could just play E5 immediately. So why set yourself up to like have to struggle to do that for the rest of the game? And what's also funny is like I like to say like the opening principles, you don't bring your queen out too early, right? That's like one of the first things they teach you. That's why
Yeah.
the Scandi is frowned upon a lot because that's move two. You're bringing your queen out, right? And now white just develops with the tempo. Your queen has to move a second time, which is violating
Yeah.
another opening principle, right? You don't want to move the same piece multiple times. That's why bringing the queen out so early is so bad. You're getting tempo. You're losing time when you could be developing other pieces, right? So here we see white has two pieces out already, and we have zero pieces out.
Yeah.
And if you put your queen somewhere else, like there's going to be other scenarios where your queen's going to get tempoed, and then you have to play something like this, so you can come back. Like that's what's funny about the Scandi is you're playing D5. That's why there's the French and the Caro is because they support D5 so that you can take
Interesting.
back with the pawn instead of taking back with the queen,
Yeah.
right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and also that's why against the Alapin, that's why D5 is so good on move 2 Because now if they take, you can play, it's like a Scandi, except there's no knight here with tempo. That's why d5 is the main line against the Alpen.
Interesting.
So like all of these openings against e4 specifically, they have so much in common. So much of the mainline principles are the same because you're really just fighting over the control of the center, what
Yeah.
it all comes down to, right? So like
Yeah.
the Scandi would be good if there wasn't this knight development tempo. That's why d5 is good against the c3 Sicilian, because c3 is where the knight wants to go. So that's why this is the main line. That's why people like play this as a move too, like because that's just like how the main line becomes the main line. It's like everything that's like wrong with one opening is like you can see it in another opening because like every move has pros and cons, right? The pro of c3 is that I can play d4. The con is that I can't put the knight on c3. And that's why this is like the main counter for that. So anyways, that's why like I play e5 because I know the downside of like the French is that now your bishop kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The Caro and the French I think are fairly similar, except you don't have this pawn on e6, right? But what's funny is in your opening that you played, you get the bishop out now. This is like what the computer is saying is a top move, bishop f5. But if you go for this, takes, now the computer's saying the best move is e6, which blocks the bishop, but you're immediately trying to get this pawn back. So your knight here is totally fine. Pen, and again, it's saying e6 is the move. So
Interesting.
queen f5, it's saying is already +1, which tells me that essentially white's just going to be able to hold on to their extra pawn. So if we just follow the line here, now e6, they have bishop to e3. And if we play something like this, takes, and now it likes the move a3, which means, okay, if we take back, we're going to get forked.
Yeah.
So they're making life really difficult for us. But if we start with e6 right now, we can try to follow this line through. What does it want? 97? I guess we're going here to attack this. So, okay, if c3 now. Bishop d7, we're threatening knight takes here, right? So now this is hard. If they try to defend this, we still have knight takes because this bishop's hanging. So this is a common tactical idea.
Wait, but knight takes, bishop take. Like, if you were in this scenario, and then knight takes. Oh, because bishop can, and then you can.
The knight comes back, exactly.
That's nice. Okay,
Yeah.
not bad.
All good. But yeah, I don't play the Caro, so I'm not like too familiar with all the different theory. Like, there's probably tons of different things that white could do here instead of just capturing, right? So capturing is just one line of many that you'd have to recognize. Like, this is playable. Even this is fine. Like, computer likes that. Computer's even saying a6 is a move, which like prevents the bishop from coming here, I guess. But anyways, this apparently is not a move because now it's really hard for you to get the material back. So yeah. Also, like here, a lot of times what's common is to play this a5 move.
I do wish I played that.
Yeah?
I do.
I think,
but you say that like I shouldn't.
There's
have wished I played that.
There's pros and cons. There's this really cool line. I hate playing against d4. But there was this one line I saw on like a really old YouTube video that really drew me in to the Benoni, which is what this is, c5. Now, if takes, we can play e6, and we're just attacking this pawn with the bishop, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they try to defend this, this is very similar to what you saw in the game that you played. We can play this move a5. Now, we're just trying to undermine the pawn, which is defending this pawn, right? So if they take, then clearly these pawns are just going to be caught, right? They're super
Yeah.
weak. So if they try to defend this pawn with another pawn, there's two options. The A pawn doesn't work because now you're pinned, right? Takes and you lose the rook. So they don't want to push the A pawn. If they go with the C pawn, we take, they take, and now we have this move, Queen f6.
Oh, that's crazy.
So we're just winning a piece.
Wow, that's really cool.
I saw this YouTube video and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, this is gonna work like every time." And like,
Is that what you play usually against D4? Or you're just like it's just
no,
something you remember that was cool.
I used to do this all the time, and I tried to go for this little trick, and it worked a few times, because
Yeah.
like at a certain rating range, like people are all just kind of winging it by move too.
Yeah.
So like if you don't know this, this is obviously gonna happen. The problem is, if I were to play c5 now, uh, well, they don't have to take, or if they do take, they're never playing b4. You're gonna see
Yeah.
them just like play normal stuff, like
Hmm.
a normal game. So yeah,
Interesting.
this is not great. Like I hate this position actually for black. So I've never played the Benoni ever again. After a certain rating level, I was like, no one's ever falling for this trick.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
like I used to play for the fried liver every single game.
Yeah.
Like I kid you not, I played the fried liver until I was like over 2000.
Okay, I played the fried liver until I was like 1100. That's 2000 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, I play e4, and the fried liver comes from the Italian
Yeah, yeah.
against e5 specifically. People, when they play the Italian, they typically bring the knight out, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you go to the Italian, most people will play the Gioco piano,
Uh-huh.
because they know if you go with the knight here, then you can go for this, which, by the way, is not that good for white anyways.
Yeah, you
Um,
just play D5 here, yeah.
d5 takes, and the idea is you go knight here.
Interesting. I didn't know that part actually. I just knew took back and
Yeah, no,
then
this is very, yeah, takes. Now this is what lets you play the fried liver. Taking here is bad
oh.
because now
Okay.
takes, and now this is a fork, and the knight's
Oh.
pinned, so you can't block with the knight. So the best move
Okay.
here is to bring the king up, and this is dangerous. But it's like, it's weird
But
because white's down a piece, so you know, black is holding for now, and it gets really complicated. You could have knight
that's
here,
interesting.
knight back. Like,
Hmm.
once this pawn can push and defend the knight, like things are fairly okay
Yeah.
for black. But it's obviously annoying to have the king up here. It's very fun for white to play, but it's not necessarily so clear.
Yeah.
White has to
Interesting.
be pretty precise. So that's why you just give up the pawn and play knight here, and the bishop's forced off this diagonal.
Hmm.
And even though white's up a pawn, black is going to have a lot of compensation because these pieces are moving a lot.
Interesting.
So basically, because if you bring the knight out first and then the bishop, black will mostly play something like this.
Uh-huh.
I actually didn't go for this. I would bring the bishop out first because sometimes black would copy you, and or another thing is they could bring the knight here because you're not putting pressure on this pawn. So you
Yeah.
do something like this, and then you can go here, and then if they defend the pawn, now you have the fried lever.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a trick of a transposition. Um,
Interesting.
but yeah, I mean, all this talk about like all these tricks and stuff, it's like it's very cool to be able to see out of your game with the Caro where
Yeah.
they play b4, that I could show you against the d4 opening completely different with the Benoni, and yet you
Yeah.
still have some of the same ideas, right, of playing a5,
Hmm.
and you're just trying to undermine this defense. Now it doesn't quite work the same in this because we don't have this queen f6 idea, because
Hmm.
this pawn's in the way. But I think recognizing this pin and like having this bishop d7 resource to like take here and take back is like really helpful. Although that being said, like generally I like having the bishop outside the pawn chain.
Yeah,
It's just
I do too.
in this specific situation though, we're just down a pawn and it's really hard to get it back basically.
Mhm.
So we're just kind of like dealing with this pin and they did not take nearly as much advantage as they could have. In fact, what's really interesting about this position, we were talking about how this bishop is the problem, we can't castle. So like
Yeah,
pushing the G pawn makes sense, but then our bishop gets trapped, right?
yeah.
So you know what the computer's idea here is?
I'm
You
gonna
see
say
it?
that it wants me to long castle because like
No. That's the
really.
second. That's the second best. But the top
I mean,
move,
I didn't even see that it was on the thing, but I wanted to kind of castle here because I just hate it. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
no, it's
It was a
fair.
thought.
It's definitely fair to castle, right?
Hmm.
The thing is, like, clearly the three pawns here, like, we should try to castle kingside would be ideal, and castling here, we have like nothing in front of our king, and it's
Yeah,
just
I mean
kind
that's
of
why I
pure
didn't.
chaos.
Yeah.
But with that being said, the top engine move is g5.
Ugh.
But
Why so?
this is combining our ideas of like we want to develop the bishop, but we also don't want to trap our bishop, right?
Wait, but
So
then why
now
can't you
if
just
they
take?
take, there's queen takes with check. Now they
Oh.
can't castle. If they block here, it likes rook c8. But
Oh, that's cool.
like yeah, we're kind of that was another thing. I was looking at queen takes. This isn't with check, and we were looking at this. If this knight a7.
I'm down
Okay.
5.
Oh my god, this
It's
is
mate
just
one here.
checkmate. That's
Uh,
nasty. Nasty
that's
move.
dubious.
Very nasty. Um,
Yeah, I probably would have thrown my monitor.
no, I was definitely looking at this, but I obviously like my instinct is telling me it's not probably worth it. But
Hmm.
that was a very pretty idea, knight a7, to take away the c8 square. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I would say this opening, and anytime you're playing this sort of gambit idea,
Hmm.
um, it gets sharp. If you can't get the material back, you're just kind of down, right? So it's like if you're not getting the material back, then you should at least have better activity because that's the whole point of a gambit.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Do you know if this has a name?
No, I don't know. I can
I
check
don't
right
know
now.
either. Ah, it's okay. Uh, anyways, they messed up at some point. So, expired soul. Thanks for the follow.
It
Let's
says it
see.
is the Karakhan defense advance, Botvinnik Karl's defense
Sounds pretty
when you
good.
played knight c6. Yeah.
Likes g5 again. Yeah, really wants the center pawn. Okay, what else? Yeah, likes bishop e4, which makes sense to me. Yeah, here they have this knight takes f5 intermezzo because the knight defends the bishop going back. But there
Yeah,
you have knight takes, which looks strong.
I did like that.
But okay, they go here, and now rook c8 makes sense here. And again, it likes this g5 idea, or it likes bishop e4.
Hmm.
But yeah, here and there's this move, apparently queen to f2, so just declining the queen trade. And I think what it doesn't like is not there f2. I think what it doesn't like about this move is that your queen is looking a little trapped,
Yeah,
a little
I mean, I
suspicious.
definitely,
Like knight
I
here.
I felt that.
Yeah, you're a little
Hmm.
short on squares, but okay.
I mean, knight there, I'm my queen's gone.
Well, they're
Like if
prepping.
I
You have a
if
move
I move,
here. It
bam.
wants you to bring the rook straight back, basically, to clear an escape route for you.
Yeah,
If they could play here, you could play here, but then yeah, rook here, and you are trapped at that point.
yeah,
So let's let's see. They obviously blundered, so now you get this piece, right? So that's great. And now from here on out, it was like we lost a pawn, and then we lost our edge. So from here, you save the rook, attacking the bishop. You save your knight. You're playing in the center. And yeah, here's where things get a little complicated. So I
yeah,
was saying like you could take here, but then that allows for this trade, which is really annoying.
yeah. I should have just taken
So I
first.
think I was recommending to take on c4 first, which
Yeah.
is the second best move. The computer does like taking on e5 best. And after takes, I assume you have to move the knight. Yeah, you have to find knight d4,
Okay.
uh, which I don't know. It's like playable for sure, but you have to be
Hmm.
okay with them trading. I guess that makes sense if you're up material. So, okay. Let's look at what you played here. Takes, takes, here, takes, takes. And now here, just like getting the king off the diagonal.
That's interesting.
Um, I was thinking something like this. The computer does not like this nearly. I thought we could maybe get this back, but
I mean, he just gets on, yeah, 6 rank.
so they have some defenses, but okay. So yes, this is a winning endgame for you. So we have to just convert now. So yeah,
Hmm.
bishop c3, push. Um, yeah, you need a5.
Okay.
It likes attacking this pawn, inducing the push, and then you play a5. So then you
Interesting.
carve out that spot for your bishop. Hi Lorena. Um okay, so takes, yeah, here king takes is much better.
I mean, that makes sense. So I see why that's true.
So you're keeping this pawn back on a dark square.
Yeah.
You're advancing your king into the position. But okay. Takes here, and
Then I should have pushed.
so you could take, pushing is best. And like we went over all this already, right? Like
Yeah.
just putting pawns, like keeping the pawns on the board. Um, and now here you're down to one winning idea, which is just bishop c3, which you played. And here now you can either give a check or you can push. This is the only way that you can maintain your advantage.
Hmm.
Trading is just draw, basically. So your chances of winning this are basically impossible unless they give you
Yeah.
everything.
Which is
Um,
non-zero. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's still possible, but it's like it requires them to royally mess up. Um,
Hmm.
all right, so yeah, this is mostly like in-game knowledge that's gonna be the difference for you
Yeah.
in
I
this
think
particular game.
I mean, I took a lot of good notes from what you were saying because I just have a pen and paper here. Um, the stuff with that end game, like keeping the pawns on the board, especially when I'm down pawns, that just makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't know. I do feel like I learned a lot from that.
You just played this game just now, today.
This was like I started stream, I did puzzles for 10 minutes, and I played that game, and I
Very
was like,
cool.
I feel like I get a lot out of this game. So
I think that's the beauty of chess is that any game you play has multiple lessons built in
yeah,
them. So it's just about reviewing and seeing.
yeah.
So, okay.
All right.
That was game number one. Uh, Did you wanna play another game?
You mean like I play a game or you want to play it together?
It's up to you. I was thinking you could play another one in the pool.
Sure, I'm down for that. Lorena, thank you for the follow. I'll play one and you like live commentate.
Yeah, and you could ignore me. I don't have to speak while you're playing, but definitely I recommend that you say what you're thinking and share your thoughts as you're playing.
Okay, I could do that.
Cool.
So I'll just play a 10-minute game. I'll say what I'm saying and we'll do that.
All right.
All right. So wait, are you gonna mute or like
Yeah,
for
I'm not
me?
gonna give you any hints. I
Yeah,
could
I mean
still
figures,
mostly I'll mute, but
but you'll hear me.
yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna start it.
Cool. Good luck.
Thank you. Chat time being okay. We're gonna play our Caricom. We're used to it here. I do definitely want to explore e5 at a later time. Joe has opened my eyes to that. Here, I usually just trade and then play here with the intention of this pawn here. I think is just pretty strong, even though the pawns are doubled.
Whoa. This is a crazy move.
I've not seen this played, to be honest. But I'm not all that worried because I could just play here. Because if I trade there, if I just trade, it's not. I feel like that's not great. So let's go here. And if he decides to go there, just tick our pawn back. Or actually, we'll just win the knight. Okay. Here, I think trading off rip is pretty good because he'll lose castling rights, and then I will get to take back. Fine.
Unless they take with the knight, which they do. But yeah, this is a great start. He's up a pawn. So similar to the game that Joe played earlier, he gave up a pawn and it was very difficult to
Getting
get
our
it
bishop
back.
here is blocking it, but getting it here, you just go there.
I would love
So
just
let's
e5
still
here.
just do this with the intention of moving it or maybe getting this out at some point.
Computer did not like e5 nearly as much as I
Maybe I
did.
could have just gone
It wanted
there to prevent
it
this.
wanted knight b4.
Actually, I am going to do that. It's counterintuitive, but I think it's the best move because then if he takes, I
Knight
just have an
b5 or
isolated
knight
pawn.
g4. Man,
So now
that's a
we're going
really
to do this. I
that's
have
a
this move,
that's a really
which I
feels
honestly
bad
kind of
move.
like. Now I don't like it as much.
I'm not sure what movie he was talking about. Also, I'm muted for anyone that's confused. He can't hear what I'm saying.
Let's get him to trade the bishop for a knight. If he doesn't, we just kick it out. Because anyways, this bishop was there. So now I could do this.
He could continue with b5. That is funny though when he says this. I can do this. I'm like, I don't know.
If I put the rook here, he could go there.
I can't see his arrows is the problem. Yeah, here, there.
So let's instead just go
Let's see.
there. Castle.
I like castling.
Because he can't take there, that's defending.
I like this development as well.
Castling's
The
fine here.
tempo. Castling. Well,
Then I could get this out.
castling's a little dangerous.
Perhaps.
This bishop has to keep an eye out here. So what does the computer like? It likes e7. Perhaps taking.
I don't particularly want to trade here, if I'm being honest. But I feel like if I move it back, the bishops... I mean, I could do this, then get this pawn out. Let's do that.
What's he want? He's going back, and he wants to push. So here's the problem. He's given up this pawn, basically. Because this knight
This
is
knight might be a little
overloaded.
overloaded.
Okay, he recognized
This just
it.
feels like an instant trade to me. I feel like this pawn already wasn't doing anything, doing that, isolating. He'll probably go there, and then I could just go here. So let's do that. I think that's his goal, is to get a rook there.
He
So then we
needs
could
to help out this bishop. I don't like that it's
play
like this.
this.
This is crazy move. That's a crazy, crazy move. There was no reason to do that. Super weakening.
Oh my god.
Yeah, instant tactic
Okay.
here. So he has to go knight d5. Or he can momentarily take here.
So I know a knight on the rim is dim. However, oh, well, a knight on
He's-
the rim here is super dim.
He's forgetting things.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he just blundered. But it's okay. It's still playable. He needs to find knight d5.
Because if I move this knight, he could take that. I can't get my knight in a good position either. What if I take... I think if I go here, he'll go... I mean, I could already just do this. Trade, and then get that piece out. So I think being down a pawn... I would technically be even here, but I think that's kind of the way to go right now. So let's try it.
Yeah, so he finds this move, which is great. But the downside is he's not through the thick of it actually.
We'll threaten the rook.
Bishop here, there's this nasty.
Oh no, I'm fine. I lied. Don't even trip.
Oh my god, that was so loud.
Not. I wasn't even scared at all, which is like cool.
You scared me, man.
Sorry, was that loud?
I think so.
My bad.
In my ears, it was loud.
My bad. I'll try not to scream.
No, it's okay.
I'm not gonna lie, you spawning in just now also scared me. I forgot. We were on call for a second. Oh, okay. I'm gonna probably push
I don't want to
up
distract him.
here
I
with
can't
the
believe
intention of
opponent
getting
missed.
that piece out.
They missed bishop takes.
So let's
I swear, dude, most
do that.
of chess is just tactics, man. It's crazy. Like you've got all the opening principles,
I just
all
don't
the
know if doing
in-game
this
stuff,
is like
but it's
necessary
like
or good right now.
if you
Doing that so
could
you get
if you could
there.
capitalize on
Should
all
bring my
the
bishop back.
tactical opportunities, like
That is probably a good idea.
you'd be so good. It's crazy. I'm not saying you as in him specifically. I'm just saying anyone out there.
I would like to hold on to my bishop, to be honest. So let's threaten that again.
He needs to see that this is being threatened for the second time.
Oh, I have a fork actually that I probably should have done that first, but I still do have it because I go there and then go there.
What was he thinking?
If he doesn't make a move on that, I will play that next move. But that is something that I could have taken much longer to look at. It's actually if I go here no, because then I'll lose the bishop. If I go here, you go there, there, there. So then there, he could play rook here. No, he can't. So I have to go. This is if he doesn't move these pieces, that's my next move.
He's gonna attack this bishop next, I think is what he's saying.
And if I go there,
Little does he realize
I go
knight
there, he
h5
play
is
rook
a
there.
nasty move.
But then regardless, I could take there. So I don't hate this move. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I would love to know what he's talking about. I think he's talking about this.
I do have to watch my time
He's
a
gonna
little bit,
put pressure on this. I think his time is fine. He's down a little bit of time, but they both have around half their clock. Yeah, I guess this is mid 1800
Should probably get my rooks a
level
little more
chess
active, too.
here. Got a couple tactics hanging by both sides, Yeah, his G6 move was just really, really atrocious. Okay. So let's see here. This rook is a little short on some squares.
Just get him to move the bishop out. What's up, Ivy? How are we doing?
Hi,
Good to see
Ivy.
you. Good, and you guys? Doing all right. Joe will not be speaking because he's currently watching my game. So
I'm sort of muted.
I think I'm going to go here and set up a potential discovered attack.
What's he talking about? Ah. Bishop takes is kind of annoying though, right?
I mean, this is a little annoying. I'm not going to lie.
He probably talked about it. King G8 is instantly
Okay, there goes
losing.
that discovered attack. Could go here. I put the pawn here. This looks like a weakening move.
King H7's
So
totally
let's
fine.
instead just bring the king back.
This is instantly losing. Isn't that crazy? Take and check. Here, and they got windmill.
I mean, low key.
Is he looking at this now?
I feel like it could have been good.
He needs to take on D3, actually.
What if I go... Okay.
It's so sad.
What if I go here, and if he takes...
How much is my elo?
Because I'm thinking takes... I want to go here, so I could just take that. But if I take this first... I take this. He'll take the pawn. I would check. I go there, pawn. If he takes with the rook, I still check. So if I take there... What if here, instead he goes there?
I love how much he's calculating now.
I guess I just go here. Oh, but then he'll take that. I kind of like this idea. I feel like if he does that, I'll go here. And it's actually defended, so he couldn't get it out if he wanted to.
This is slightly
How much is my
crazy.
elo? 1850 about. So if he takes back, check, I win that.
He's played the right move here, but
At least I have a plan.
I think
Yeah.
it's for the wrong reason. I think that
Okay.
he missed the main tactic that White had. So he didn't actually consider King G8 so much. So yes, there is this bishop check, which is the best move. Maybe not surprisingly, but okay. Ah, that's defended there, huh? Funny. Rook takes. Has to be played. Now this would be a fantastic blunder. We would love to see that. What was the move here? That's so good. It likes b4, likes rook d2. Oh, rook d2, not rook d7. Wait, rook d2?
Let's play that.
No, sorry, bishop d2. Bishop d2 makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, let's go. Find the tactic. Come on, please. You saw the check earlier. My brother, my friend. Yes, let's go, dude. Huge tactic.
He goes there to block. I don't take because then I'm even.
Rook
He
block
goes
would
there
be
to block.
funny.
I take there because I get up.
What's he talking about, bro? What is he talking about?
And then I'm up 1 point of material.
Oh, it takes, that would be even. So yeah, here needs to take.
But it's still a bit peculiar in fashion, and I don't like it.
This is very
Okay.
lucky for us, though, for sure. I should defend this pawn
Let's get second rank.
or push. Hmm. I don't like that we just gave that pawn up for no reason.
Which is additionally good because I go here. Threatening this. Okay. Let's next time remember that how the pieces move.
We're gonna have a lot to go over in this game. He's down 2 minutes on the clock, so he's got to really pick it up here. It's technically even material. It's 2 pawns versus an exchange. So, wow, they're just giving the F pawn away. That's crazy. You should take that. It's a gift. It is a gift, my friend. Joe's got to pick up the pace. He's being a little slow. He's being a little slow, Joe. Wow, he bought the bait. Rook c8. I have a bad feeling about this game. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So they should push the pawn.
Could just play this. In which case, I'll probably play there. I don't know, dude. This is what I've been getting at. Okay.
Wow, this is such a huge blunder. C2 is so free. He should take with the C rook. Yes, double on the second. Now take another pawn with check. Amazing. And now, I mean, the world's your oyster.
So then I'll go.
Oh god, he's so low.
Shoot, I'm running out of time actually.
Yes, threaten the checkmate. Beautiful idea.
Lock in.
He's locking in. He's under a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Darth Reven, thank you for the sub.
He has a check. That makes us not main one.
Oh, he's guarding this. Very smart. Low key. He's also threatening mate too, which is also super
I think
smart.
I have to take a draw here. I have 50 seconds.
That's absolutely not the case, but okay.
No, I could go here and then come back.
Why go back is my question. That's so sad. He could have, like, gone here maybe. Who knows? But I like, he's threatening this pawn, which would attack the bishop as well. But yeah, he's going, if he's going to go for the draw, then that's going to be a little sad, but okay. He's threatening f6, very smart. Bishop has to defend backwards. He's also threatening rook takes, actually. Rook takes f4 is a very nice move. There's bishop here.
Okay, sorry. I'm not going to be able to commentate much. I have to lock in.
All right, buzzer beater time. He's got 30 seconds. Can he do it, chat? Summoning the strength of his Joe ancestors.
What was that?
What's up, Iskia?
Oh, does it go off when someone redeems something? Oh, lock in. Okay. I have 33 seconds.
Either he
goes there. I take.
closes it out. Oh, what's beautiful about this move?
He goes there.
He could trade after trade. He can pin the
I take.
bishop. Wow, they find the actually active move, but okay, he should be winning plenty of material here. He's down a minute on the clock, but he should have more than enough time to convert this because the king is so
Then I'm
weak
gonna
for
take
white.
here.
You could push the e pawn home. He lifts, he gets the h pawn. No, he's just pushing home, which is still very smart. But now the king can go to c2 and lift a little bit.
30 seconds.
But
I can do
gonna,
this.
It's not gonna matter.
I've played these games before.
Let's see the arts of the pre-move. Can he close things out here? Does he have the time? Rook here. He's got rook to the back rank, pinning and winning. You either trade and allow a queen, or you just give up the rook, and guess what? The queen's coming anyways. So let's see. He's setting up the net. He's got mate
Oh, we
pre-moved.
take those any day of the week.
Huge dub. Yo, is your
Thank you,
heart
buddy.
racing right now?
I don't have my watch on, but it's
You
definitely
can feel
like
it.
above
That's
170.
so
So
funny. Well done, dude. How do you feel about
thank
that
you.
game?
I feel like it was very similar to what I described to you, where I got into a position that I was very happy with it, and I felt like I was up, and then I just kind of deer in headlights and like didn't really know where to go. I'm not gonna open the game review yet, but
All
or wait, I think
good.
I have
Yeah,
to send it
I'm
to you.
gonna I'm gonna add you to the classroom. We'll look at it together.
All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real
Yeah, do
quick.
your thing. I love asking how they feel about the game afterwards because I want to get a sense of like obviously when we watch it live, we can see the blunders and the mistakes in real time and we can hear and feel the reaction from the player. Yo, Matt with a huge raid. Let's go, dude. Shout out to Matt. Everyone, please go follow and check out Matt. Go support him. He's streaming all the time. He's gaining so much elo. He's soon going to be the one giving me lessons. So I'm looking forward to that. And he's just all around a great guy. Seriously. Great playlist, great attitude, great smile, great chess. What more could you ask for one streamer? Anyways, welcome in, Matt. We just watched another Joe stream his game. We're reviewing it with him, so he's just taking a quick break. But when he's back, we're gonna look over this game that he just played. It was actually very back and forth, believe it or not, unbeknownst perhaps to Joe. So we're gonna look at it with him. Matt is the full package, dude.
I'm
Absolute
back.
dream. What's up, dude?
Oh, Matt Henningsen raid, huge.
Yes, of course.
Is he still out? Like, wasn't his story like he's a football player and he got injured and then he started streaming chess?
I think it's like a little similar to that. I think he was streaming chess before he got injured,
Mm,
but I think he's still an active player, and I know they're in the off season right now, so they'll probably be starting
oh,
up again soon.
sick. And he plays Broncos.
Yeah,
Awesome.
of course. All right. So this game, we've got your Caro, and
I
this
would love to
time,
know your vague thoughts, like before you even dive into anything.
well, I mean, I watched the whole game with the engine, so like I kind of
Mm,
know where certain things happened.
okay.
But my really top level thoughts is like there's so many tactics that are just missed that like I think if you just work on the tactical game,
Hmm.
both like offensively and defensively, you have a lot of room to improve. Like you could get to 2000 like depending on how good your tactics are.
And you recommend that, like, working on that through puzzles or
Yeah, and also like still playing and reviewing. Like how often are you reviewing your games?
pretty much every rapid game I play, I give like a good 20, 30 minute review with the engine. And then the Blitz games, if I play one that's especially gut wrenching or heartwarming, I will review them.
Okay, wow. Um, so what would be your most played time control?
I think my most played is probably rapid, but I'm also trying to play more blitz because I think blitz takes a lot of the. I think I get very attached to my rapid rating. So as much as I do try and play, sometimes if I'm a little bit tired or something, I'll be like, oh, let me not play rapid, let me play blitz instead because I feel like blitz is a time control where I could still it still requires some thought. It's not bullet. I'll play 5 minutes where I'm
Yeah,
still thinking. It's just a little bit quicker, and it almost lets me. Obviously, it does let me play more. So I've been kind of leaning towards blitz like late at night and stuff like that.
got it. Um, so I would say if you're trying to get better, it's good that you're reviewing. I mean, 20 to 30 minutes on a review for a rapid game is actually like it seems very healthy, like a long time, considering that's typically like longer than how long that rapid game even lasts, which is
Well,
funny.
it does depend on the game.
Yeah,
So
that's true too. But yeah, I think that the review process is so important because it shows you what you missed, right? And it's like
yeah.
impossible to learn from your games if you don't go over it because you don't even know what you missed. So, here your Karo Khan, they give up a pawn here, and you could take, but you decide to develop and defend, which is actually really smart because now, if they take, which they do, you recognize that you could do two things. First, you trade queens, which is great, right? You're not allowing them to trade queens where you have to take back with your kings. So that's good. They have to underdevelop to keep their casting rights. And now you can develop your other knight by taking that pawn back. And you're just up a pawn here. So life is really good, right? So in your other Carl Khan game we reviewed, you were the one giving up the pawn and struggling to get it back. Now here they give up the pawn and now they're going to struggle to get it back.
Yeah.
So now here we're just at developing. And what's really interesting about this move in this position, like my gut instinct was to play e5. Just
Okay.
getting ready to develop the bishops. You ended up going here. Now, the other idea, there's a couple of them actually. So this is already just kind of unorthodox that they had to take back with the knight.
Yeah.
And the bishop here also is susceptible. There's like 3 top level knight moves that they want you to choose from. So I'm sure you could guess at least 2 of the 3.
Is one of them knight d5 and the other one knight g4?
Those are 2 of the 3, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to guess the third one?
Dude, it's probably like b4, knight b4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knight b4, we're just immediately questioning what they're doing about the c pawn, right?
Yeah.
Because it's awkward to defend, right? They can't put the bishop here. They can't castle. They can't put the knight here.
Yeah.
So knight b4 poses a lot of questions. Now, they do have this check, right? So it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I love the idea of just like, oh, you're gonna put the bishop on e3. Well, how comfortable are you, right there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not a move I would advocate for or maybe go for myself. Like I said, my first thought just e5. But like it's interesting to see like what the computer's ideas are, and also knight b4 is a very concrete move. It's a very solid idea. Like it is a good question.
Well, just now when I'm looking at it, if you play knight b4, say that they play rook c1,
uh-huh.
are you gonna take the a pawn there? Because then I
With
feel
the
like your knight
tempo,
can get trapped.
I
If
think
you
with the
take the
tempo, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm silly, and I forgot how the knight moved, and I forgot that when the knight was on a2, it would threaten the rook.
Yeah, well, if you're putting the rook there, yeah, this is technically a fork, right? If they're
Yeah.
going to use the rook to defend the pawn, well, they're going to give us that with the tempo. So even though I agree with you, the knight could get trapped, because the rook has to move again, we're basically coming back with the same threat, which would be so funny, except we're just up an extra pawn.
Yeah.
But, okay. Let's look at what's played in the game. You bring the bishop out, and now they pin you. And now you're like, I'm coming right back.
I did do that. Yep.
So this is kind of like a demoralizing move. What's funny is that a lot of people will see to play this move, but they'll avoid it because they're like, well, I just moved this bishop, so
Yeah.
it's kind of sad to bring it back. But that being said, if it's the best move, even if it's like a little sad or even humiliating or embarrassing to do it, like if it's objectively the best move, you should still do it, right? But there's a lot of people that like their ego won't let them concede that they messed up, and they'll just own it and they'll do something worse, and then it'll be worse off for them. So this is a good move.
I'm laughing at how you put that. So you're like, yeah, it might be embarrassing and stupid, and like you might feel bad, but yeah, it's the best move.
That's how
Like,
I
it just made me
feel.
laugh.
Like that's the only way I can contextualize it, because it's
No,
like
it makes sense.
I understand, and you know, I see it happen a lot with like other people as well. Like I've played people where I'm like they just messed up and I'm
Yeah.
gonna like press them on the issue and like make them question what they just did. And it's really a test. Like, will they be able to recover from that and like go back and like admit to their
Yeah.
mistake? Or are they gonna double down and make life even worse for themselves? And that's
So,
oftentimes what people do.
hmm
What's up,
someone
Darth?
said if you're giving advice, you need the hat
Yeah, I have the
in
Gandalf
chat.
hat now. It's one of my channel point redeems.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, okay, so no, I give props to you for coming back. But that being said, bishop to f5 probably shouldn't be the move that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But I love the bishop. I mean, the bishop comes here like a lot of the time. But in this situation, maybe staring at our own pawn isn't ideal.
Yeah.
And also, we have to just recognize that like bishop's gonna come here, right? And we have to have a
Yeah.
plan ready for when that happens. So if we feel that okay, after this, I'm gonna go here, maybe don't come out too early and just go here immediately, something like that.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay. Here, castle, you question the bishop. Now here, what were your thoughts on b5?
I was not a big fan of it.
Okay.
And for the my exact reasons, I forget what I said, but I did feel as though if I oh, I forgot I can't move.
Sorry, I have to give it to you.
You're good. I feel like if I played b5 here, I didn't something about this like in my heart of hearts, I wanted to play like my knight here eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have just given up on that idea and maybe instead gone for G4 and had that in my mind. But I think this move was so in my mind of like this will maybe allow me to reconnect my pawns at some point, or even
Mm-hmm.
like if they trade, like then this kind of sucks. Like I I had that move in my mind. I think that kind of prevented me from
Uh-huh.
putting the bishop there. Also, I just didn't want to really give him a chance to get his bishop out. I felt like if I went here, his bishop might have had some better positioning on me. I had a few things that I just said. I kind of thought about them, like dipped my toe in and said, yeah, I don't really think that I want to mess with this. And
Uh-huh.
so I didn't.
Okay. I would say typically like if the pin is on this side of the board and we
Yeah.
play here and they maintain this pin, a lot of times we don't like to push because like especially if that's where we're castling, it could be very weakening.
Yeah.
But here with these pawns here, the idea typically we want to castle that way and not go
Yeah.
this way. So it's okay to extend these pawns, and also like if you look like concretely at all the ideas, like especially knight d5, this is not a move that you need to get obsessed with
Yeah.
because what exactly does knight d5 do for you? You're talking about like connecting the pawns, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, right now it does nothing. Yeah. Okay.
not only
I mean,
that,
I
but
figured.
even they trade. You knew that after castling this wasn't possible
Yeah.
or good at least.
Hmm.
But I think you also forgot that your knight needs to protect this pawn.
Yeah.
And
I think AO River actually makes a good point too. Where after I played this, if I was worried about this bishop, I could have just played pawn a5
knight a5 is really strong,
or
right?
knight
Because the
a5. Yeah.
bishop's completely blocked out. Also, pawn on e6 with the pawn here, like if bishop goes here, it's just biting on granite, right?
Yeah.
This is
That's a
really
good.
solid.
I like the way you said that.
Okay, but
Biting on granite.
it gets even more concrete if we look a couple moves later. I don't think you realized how bad some of the positions were actually. There were some really bad tactics that could have been really painful.
For me,
Yeah.
I definitely didn't feel it.
So you developed the bishop, right? And this is logical. It's with the tempo. You're threatening to
Yeah.
double isolate their pawns. You're getting ready to castle. I want you to be a little scared of castling here because notice the rook hits the bishop, and you looked at this in certain lines, right?
Yeah.
But castles and already you notice this knight's overloaded, right?
Yeah.
So you're not actually ready to castle here.
Well, wait, if we run that back. Yeah, I see it. Because then he could take wait. Yeah, he'll take there and then the
Yeah.
rook will come in. Okay, my bad. Yeah,
So this is just the tactic. Like you're just giving the pawn back.
yeah. Hmm.
So we need to be more cognizant of what's getting hit, basically, right?
Yeah.
And like understanding what's defending what. So like right here, the king's defending. Um, I think like if there was like a queen on the board, I think you would have been more aware, right? Or you would
Yeah,
have treated it a
absolutely.
little bit more seriously.
Hmm.
Because here it's like, okay, queens are off, you maybe relax a little bit, like, but this is still very serious pressure.
Yeah.
So we need to somehow address this pressure here. In fact, maybe even queenside castling is actually okay.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
I just felt like if I queenside castled the bishop, dark square bishop coming
yeah,
here,
I
it's very
agree. I
scary.
agree. We could flush it out with the bishop, but
Hmm.
they have like tactics, right?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why, and this is gonna come back later. But castles and they can already take the pawn.
Hmm.
They don't, and now here you're debating between taking and going back. I think here, if you recognize this threat on the pawn, you kind of are forced to take. But
Yeah.
it's still complicated, um, because of this bishop, this knight, this bishop. Like if you try to defend the bishop with a rook, like you're gonna have questions, right? Or pens.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy. You go back and now they should take for sure because it's just winning a pawn. They
Hmm.
messed up, so they go here, and you're like, okay, this is immediate capture, right? Because this pawn already was free to take. You didn't maybe
Yeah.
recognize, but you did say you felt your knight was overloaded, which is true. So you're alleviating your knight's defense of the pawn, and they take back, and now this is like their main idea, right? They open the G file. Now,
Hmm.
what you did though was like actually really bad.
Okay.
Do you remember what you did here?
I think I played G6.
Yeah. Why is that so bad?
I think that I'm giving his dark square bishop more space. Um, and I mean, I did kind of see why it was bad because when I go G6, I can't play what you call it. Yeah, I mean, essentially what happened. I played G6. He could threaten my knight by just bringing the bishop down to G5, which is what happened.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to respond somehow. So like the knight, which is the only thing protecting the bishop, can be attacked essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, so you basically like this knight basically you don't want to create this dependency between your pieces, right? When
Yeah.
the moment you castled, the bishop went from being defended twice to being defended once. And when a piece is
Yeah.
only defended once, you're leaving yourself to tactics, like you're vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
All they have to do is remove the defender, right? If there's only
Yeah.
one defender. So all they need to do is attack your knight. And you're making it so much easier for them to do that because now the same thing happened with your knight, that your bishop, like you lost the defender of your bishop, and now you're losing the defender of your knight as well. So your
Yeah.
knight is actually just completely hanging. And what's worse is it's defending a piece. So this
Yeah.
move does a couple bad things. G6 inherently isn't a bad move, but you normally play this when you're like trying to fianchetto, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here you play it, your bishop's all the way over here. So immediately their bishop is like, ooh la la, like field day.
Yeah.
You just open the door, and now bishop here, you're realizing the problem. And now you have to concede a pawn. Knight d5 is the
Hmm.
only move that doesn't lose a piece, but it does lose a pawn. So that opening advantage you had, right? They give you a pawn, you just give it back here. Unnecessary. Like this is completely unprovoked, by the way.
Yeah.
Like if they go here and then go here, then I could see you playing g6, but like that's still a couple of moves away.
Yeah.
And that should give you enough time to at least react and adjust to that. For example, if they go
Hmm.
here, we could just play here if we really wanted
Yeah.
to. Now, I still think this is like kind of a problem. Our bishop, unfortunately, doesn't have many moves.
Yeah.
So it's like we're just kind of, our bishop's just defending the knight, right?
Hmm.
So that's why b5 could help alleviate a lot of this pressure.
Yes.
Put the bishop here, and then we can deal with these pieces. Like we're kind of pinned, right? Our bishop's kind of defending this. Like b5, I think earlier on, especially if we know we're trying to aim to castle this way, b5
Yeah.
is just going to be a good move. It's going to help in our attack, right?
You're right. Yeah.
So we shouldn't be too worried about pushing this.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, we mess up a little bit. You stay calm and you react appropriately. You were thinking about putting the knight on the edge or something, and then you just realized, okay, there's actually a bigger problem here. So you had to make sure you save the knight and the bishop. You can do that with knight d5. It does lose a pawn, but you were up a pawn, so now you're sort of back to even. Now after takes
Yeah.
here, this position is actually way more complicated than it needs to be.
Hmm.
First and foremost, your bishop's just hanging, right?
Yeah.
There's another problem. Your other bishop's also hanging. So they
I
have this
see.
threat and then this threat.
Hmm.
So with that
I
being
see.
said, after you go here, what can white do?
White can play rook c5.
No.
Would that no? I was gonna say to keep that pressure because it wouldn't be immediate. Oh wait, could they just take on c6?
Yeah.
Because then they'll take back and then just be up a pawn. Okay.
If you take this, you lose that. If you take this, they take here. And it's
Yeah.
not that they're up a pawn. It's that they have two minor pieces for a rook,
Yeah.
which
But I just
is
meant like up a piece, but yeah, like up 1 point.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
So that would have been a really good trade for them. These are the
Okay.
sort of tactics that I'm talking about. That's like
Yeah.
this stuff is getting missed. So you're giving yourself a ton of problems with like at the very start of the call you mentioned like, hey, I get these good positions, and then like slowly but surely like things go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Castling is one of those things. This is like, okay, we kind of are setting ourselves up for some tactics, right?
Yeah.
So this loses you a pawn. That's like one small detail. That's one thing, right? Losing a pawn, not the end
Hmm.
of the world. But it's like, if you keep doing that, you're gonna make your life a lot more difficult to like win games, right?
Yeah.
So okay, that's one example. G6, this is a second example. This is like completely unprovoked. This is like, if I'm looking at the position, I'm thinking to myself, like, how do I improve my position, right? Like, what needs to happen? What needs to get, like, I'm thinking probably some sort of piece play. I'm also thinking
Hmm.
like, okay, this is kind of making me a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
Maybe start with b5. Like we like making threats, because they have to react to our threats, right? They can't be
Yeah.
creating their own threats unless bishop here is like with a check or something. Then I don't necessarily see them getting something ridiculous. So like this, we're creating some space. Maybe we go again. Maybe we create a second threat, right? Either they're gonna
Yeah.
damage their pawn structure or something, or maybe we want to bring our rooks in the center. Maybe like rook c8 is a solid idea, which you played eventually. But like
Hmm.
these are good solid ideas. This doesn't actually help us. Like I'm actually not sure what your thought process was with G6 actually.
I think that my thought process was to prevent the eventuality of, and it is kind of silly, like whatever, I don't know, like make some whatever move, like this, so that way I could, instead of letting them get this tempo, I'm just doing this beforehand.
Okay.
But I see what you mean, where like it just
Yeah,
messes everything up.
it's not even like this doesn't even come with a tempo.
Hmm.
Uh, they
Well,
have
doesn't it? Because
they
then
have
I have to
threats,
respond when they go
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is you have to be active. Like I would say that there's ways to defend G7 besides just pushing the pawn, but the problem is your knight can't move because this bishop.
Yeah.
So, like knight here and knight here both defend G7, but it's just not possible because of this. So
Yeah.
once this happens, like yes, you could push the G pawn now, but I still don't like this bishop getting in. I would say that you could play King G8,
Hmm.
and you still have some problems. Like this isn't necessarily possible, but like this dependency here is really annoying. So
Okay.
like rook here, but you have to just live with this pen sort of.
Yeah.
But that's like if we could recognize these ideas, you're not gonna play something like rook b8, right? You could find something more active here. That's why I'm saying like b5 is at least for starters something
Yeah.
because we know they're not gonna put the rook here if we play b5.
Yeah.
So those are sort of like active moves that we should be more prone to making rather than just like, okay, I see in the future they have this two move combo. I'm just going to play g6 to like the problem with g6 is sure, maybe the rook doesn't have as much of a sting, but the bishop's super happy about it, but also this is creating a hook. There's a world where they just launch the h pawn,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
So
Yeah.
you're reacting to something that's like just in your head, but like you're just creating more problems for yourself. You could always play g6 later if you really need to,
Yeah.
but like now is not the time. So this is like the second example of like, okay, we're sort of conceding a little bit. And then takes, rook takes. Here's this. This is a really concrete tactic here. And truth be told, it's kind of difficult to find a sort of response here, knowing that this is such a strong tactic. Probably b5 is like one of the only moves, actually, sadly.
Mm.
You give up this bishop, but you take here. But
Interesting.
okay, things get even worse, actually. So here they miss the tactic, takes, they just go back. Great news for us, right?
Yeah.
King up, knight over, hits the bishop. You save the bishop, and you attack the rook. And they go back here. So now, this is back where they started, right? You see this threat, right?
Hmm. I think this is what, like, the move after this is when I screamed.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm really curious what you screamed about.
no, actually, it was earlier, I guess,
Really?
because I think it was here where I screamed. I don't really know, to be
But yeah,
honest.
you played here, and
No, I played that and I screamed. Yes, you're right.
what did you see?
I
You
didn't
probably
see that
saw
they.
this, right? Oh,
I mean, I saw that, and I didn't realize
this
it was
and
defended
that.
by the knight. But I didn't even see this and then that
Oh, you
until
saw
after I
the.
like looked
Oh,
at it.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
I just straight up saw that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Ooh."
You know what's funny is that seeing this is the first step to seeing this.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, you screamed, and I thought that like maybe you saw the tactic that you blundered,
Hmm.
but then you
No,
like calmed down, and I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't. And like neither did they. They didn't see it either. So they just go here.
Yeah.
And yeah, this would have been a nice way to win two pieces for the rook. You save your bishop here. Now they come straight back, right? And now they're threatening the same idea. And here you save your bishop, which is nice, right? But still, I feel like b5
Yeah.
perhaps, but it's maybe not as good now as it was. But okay, you save the bishop now. Some pressure on their knight, and you have some ideas potentially. But
Hmm.
here's something else interesting about this rook, right? It's also attacking the other bishop, right?
Hmm.
And we're talking a lot about like dependency of pieces or like overworked pieces, right?
Yeah.
Like the knight, the bishop's dependent on the knight, right? And the bishop's hitting this knight, so this is kind of like an less than ideal situation to
Yeah.
be in. So saving the bishop was smart, but there's a really nice move here that white has, and it has to do with this bishop and this pawn.
Hmm. It's not just take with the rook and then open it.
It's not that, not yet.
Hmm. Hmm. It's like next move would devastate me kind of thing.
Devastate seems a little harsh, but these are ideas that like
Oh, I is it this?
yes,
Okay.
knight check. This is
Hmm.
just a really fun way to play. It's a great idea. I think it's very annoying, right?
Yeah.
This is just a very fancy way to like manipulate the position in
Hmm.
your favor. Like your opponent is kind of flexing on you, right? Like if you decline, now they can just wiggle their way in, and
Hmm.
who knows? I'm not saying this is necessarily the best move. Probably they come back. If you go here, it's like who knows what's happening? I don't know. It
Yeah.
takes like this is disgusting, right?
That's not. Yeah.
Um, but these are moves that like they should at least be on your radar, right? Within your
Okay.
conscience that you need to be considering this check. You need
Yeah.
to consider that like yes, the rook is attacking the bishop. The bishop's defended by the pawn, but like there's a bigger picture here. The pawn is important in many ways actually. It's not just defending the pawn or the king or the bishop, but it's defending this checking square and it's closing the G file, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, they don't go for the check. They move the knight, and now you kick the bishop back. They're reloading here. This is actually a very dangerous move because this diagonal is killer,
Hmm.
and it's because you push the G pawn.
Yeah.
But okay, let's
It
what
all circles
let's
back to the G pawn.
let's see. Rook over, right? You're lining up with the king. This is a natural move. Now check. Tell me your options here.
My options were f6, g7, or h7, g8. That's it, I
That's
think.
pretty much it. We don't really
Yeah.
want to consider any piece blocks because
I did consider
they
them,
have all of
but
this control.
yeah.
You at least acknowledge that they exist, but we can also acknowledge that they're bad.
Yes, absolutely.
So I would say realistically, pawn push or you have two king moves, right?
Yeah.
Now, in chess, when you have options like this, they're never created equal. Every move has pros and cons, right? And when
Yeah.
you're given a decision, you have to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
So, like, you looked at these three and you decided that this was your best option. King G is what you played.
Yeah.
I want you to walk me through, like, how you can dismiss the other two options.
So I very quickly, because I think at this point I had 4 minutes left. Um, so I didn't want to take too long and think on it. I didn't think that there was between these two. I didn't think there was too great of a difference. I thought these two were the better moves because I figured going f6 opened me up. And
Uh-huh.
even though I have a lot of defenders, I have this line of pawns in front of my king.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe there was a way he could have, gotten the rooks, and he has two bishops that he could
Yeah.
attack from the other side. So I didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
Going here, I didn't like playing h7 because I think it removes my king as a defender on f7,
Okay.
which could kind of start the same thing. He plays there and then whatever.
Got it.
So that's just why I settled on g8.
Okay. I agree. F6, this is just naturally like a hard move to make because Ben Feingold tells us to never play F6. But also, like, yeah, we're blocking the check, but now our pawn is pinned, right? It's a defensive liability, but also maybe our seventh rank is weak. Maybe the light squares are weak. Pushing pawns in front of the king is just generally weak, right?
Yeah.
Now, the difference between G8 and H7 is actually not so subtle. It's actually a tactical difference.
Really?
So there's a really concrete reason why G8 is actually really bad.
Okay. So what you're saying is that I picked the worst one.
Tactically.
Okay. Is it that he could sacrifice the rook here and then open
Yeah.
it? If he sacks the rook, I go there. He checks. I could only go here, and then he has windmill.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be
Okay.
painful, right?
Yeah. Okay.
If he puts this move on the board, your reaction is gonna be worse than the scream that we
Well,
saw.
my reaction here would be like, "That's crazy," and then I
Like,
would like think about it for a second and be like, "Oh,
so what's funny is you said like I had like 4 minutes. I didn't really think that long about it, right? Um,
mhm.
but like you have to always consider the exchange sack, like
Okay,
especially like when you're pushing the G pawn and you don't have a fianchettoed bishop, this bishop becomes like an assassin piece.
yeah,
Like look at this reroute, like it immediately attacked the knight that was defending the bishop. They didn't really I mean they want a pawn out of that, but now okay, you kick the bishop away, and now the bishop just says, "All right, bet I'm gonna get on the longest diagonal, and I'm gonna take advantage that you push the G pawn."
yeah,
Um, and now here, you kind of have to go to H7. I mean, even F6 is a better move than King G8. Just unfortunately, I would say like in general practice, like if they had a G pawn still, right? If
yeah.
they couldn't open
Hmm.
the G file, then probably King G8's fine, right? It's
Okay,
totally reasonable.
yeah,
Um, at least I would say it's probably better than playing F6. But in this situation, tactically, this just you get obliterated. Rook takes, pawn takes, rook check, and I mean, if we look at this windmill, it's like this is nasty stuff, right?
yeah. It's not fun for anyone
Um,
besides my opponent.
takes, takes. I don't know if we have to look at the whole thing, but basically, your seventh rank just got decimated,
Yeah,
and like they still have some room
is
to play around, but
is not
uh,
fun. Yeah,
okay. So that's like such a devastating tactic. Like we can't afford to let that happen. So all of this, by the way, would be like prevented if we didn't push the G pawn. But
hmm.
um,
It's great. It all circles back to the damn G pawn.
yeah, okay. So they messed it up. And what's crazy is here, normally this would not be a good trade for you because they take with the tempo, right?
Yeah.
With the fork. So it's so funny to me how you kind of play this move pretty quickly, and then after they take here, you went into a really deep think. You were like, okay, if I do this, they do that, I'll do this, and then that, and then you calculated all these different trades, all the different ways that they could take back,
Uh
right?
huh.
They could do that, or but I don't even know if at all you considered rook takes
I
bishop.
certainly did not.
So I think it's funny the time usage, right? So like if we look at the clock situation, Here, 417 to 351. That's about, 20 so seconds, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 30 seconds.
Hmm.
Bishop takes here, you're at 351 to 256. So this is a full minute here.
Yeah.
Um, and what's funny is this is your best move, but it's not for any of the reasons you calculated. It's because rook takes is so devastating. If you
Yeah.
take here, they're gonna take here, and
And it's the same
you're
thing.
just down a piece. Um, so you take here so that they don't have that. They're not gonna open up the G file, right? So yeah, they're winning a pawn here,
Hmm.
and here you were calculating this check. I don't know why you didn't play that, but that could have been perhaps a better idea. But
Well, if I played that check, I play like I played this check. I saw they go here, and then I go there, and then I guess it's either take or be taken. Um, yeah, I just didn't really consider it.
well, you did consider it.
I
You mentioned it.
I briefly considered it, but I thought this was just more of a direct approach.
Yeah, honestly, it's actually kind of a subtle difference. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal to not do it, but um,
Hmm.
I do think like putting the king on the b file, then putting the rook on the b file, like lining it up makes sense.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean that does make
and
sense
just
looking at it
putting the
now.
king maybe a little bit more into the corner. But yeah, this was very nice, right? Like clearly they blundered this. So it was probably good that we saved this, right? You kept this in the
Yeah,
back pocket. You knew. Um,
it all works out. It's all
yeah,
coming up
when
Millhouse.
you took here, my first thought was like, I hope they blunder this because like this is such a natural move to make. Putting in the rook on the seventh, you're pinning the bishop, right? But
Yeah.
you're not pinning it because it's with check. So I was like hoping they would blunder that. They didn't. They played here, and then here I thought you'd still give the check or something, but you kept it still. Rook here is a very great move, right? Taking the open file, and now they blunder on the second move. And now, so you win the exchange. Very smart that you didn't trade here, right? Because they just
Hmm.
take back with the rook. So you win the rook, and now here, what was that?
Because I played the game. I remember what happens.
Okay, so explain to me what happens here.
What happened was I closed my eyes and made a move. Is the only
Oh
discernible
wow.
explanation. That's
Okay,
the
well
only explanation I have.
now that your eyes are open,
I would
what are you thinking?
probably play like that or move my king forward.
Yeah, I like King H7 again.
Yeah,
I think you should just take a moment to just save your pawn, right?
yeah,
Like it's not
you're
it's
right.
not
I wasn't even paying attention, but
okay. That
it's
happens.
it's funny like how you're saying uh the moves that I thought didn't really matter, like the king when I was like, oh, I go there, there, there. Like now, however many moves later, it mattered. If I put my king there, then I could have just done this. Or I guess maybe not
Well,
gonna like
no,
then I could have done that.
I don't want you to think that the king on H7 is important to save the H pawn cuz
No, I'm saying like it's just I think it's kind of interesting.
I think I like honestly I completely forgot about that moment or like king g8 was bad because of rook takes f5, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Here I don't mind that we have our king on g8 from way earlier because that specific tactic is no longer a threat.
Okay.
Right
All right.
now, king h7, like king g7, like why put the king on a dark square, right? When they have a dark square
Yeah.
bishop, like king here, we're kind of shielded on the H file a bit, and we're not getting checked on a light square at least. Um,
Hmm.
And like here, they can come here and like they have stuff maybe that's annoying, but okay, the whole point, like honestly, in this position, either of these moves is going to be better. Like you just went rookie two, which maybe 7 times out of 10 is going to be your best move. But
Yeah.
the problem is that we're just giving them a pawn for free, right?
Yeah.
So we could just save this pawn and like how are they stopping us from playing rookie 2?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you
You're
see
right.
any
It was
move?
no. It's here. I don't see a move where they could besides if they play here, but then it's mate.
Exactly. It's a very pretty mate to blunder. So they
So
there's no reason to rush rookie 2 because
okay.
they're not stopping it. It's
Okay.
literally impossible for them to stop without losing a piece or getting mated, right?
Yeah.
So it's like again back to the whole idea of like you get good positions, but you just kind of like bleed away a little bit. It's like these are the pawns you're like when you cast